Historically, reaching 200 miles per hour required a massive financial commitment. This elite speed bracket was exclusive to Ferraris, Lambos, and McLarens, vehicles defined by carbon fiber builds, scissor doors, and astronomical price tags. Now, Chevy has just disrupted this status quo.
We're going to go after 200, whatever that ends up being. I think we're going to check the data, make sure we're good.
Base 2027 Corvette Stingray, not the Z06, not the ZR1, not the ZR1X, not the Grand Sport X. The base car, starting at 73,495, can hit 200 miles per hour. 200 miles per hour. For non-car enthusiasts that are just randomly watching this video, I don't even know why you would be anyways, but for non-car enthusiasts, right? I'm sure you don't even go 100 miles per hour on a daily basis. This car goes 200 miles per hour for 73,000 grand. So is this the greatest performance bargain ever made? Or is Chevy playing a very specific game with the numbers? We're going to dive into that. What's up, everyone? On this channel, we're going to be covering cars, records, news, and moments that actually changed the industry. This is going to be one of those moments. Let's get into it. On June 30th, National Corvette Day. By the time this video drops, it should be like, maybe 7 days ago, I think. But Chevy dropped this announcement. The 2027 Corvette Stingray, the entry-level version of America's sports car, has officially joined one of the most exclusive clubs in the automotive world, production cars that can break 200 miles per hour. And before you say anything, yes, it's real, it's not a one-off concept, and it's not some track-only special edition. Corvette ran a base 1LT Stingray, no performance package, straight from factory, and validated the 200 mile per hour top speed in official testing. Now, Chevy was very careful with their wording. The press release mentioned 200 miles per hour exactly 10 times. 10 times. Never gives a more specific number, so we're probably talking 200, maybe 201. But here's the thing, it doesn't even matter. I mean, crossing that line is what counts. Hitting that 200 is what counts. Later on in this video, I'll list cars that the Corvette beat to 200 miles per hour at this similar price point. So like at 100K to like, to that 73,000. And you'd be shocked by how much performance this is for that price, if you don't already know. Let's start with the engine. The new LS6 is a 6.7 liter naturally aspirated V8. No turbos, no supercharger, no hybrid system. They took the previous 6.2 liter LT2, right, which was taken from the LT1 and from the C7, extended the stroke and bumped displacement to 409 cubic inches, which Chevy people recognize as like a historically significant number. The result is 535 horsepower and 520 pound-feet of torque. That's 45 horsepower gain and 55 pounds-feet more than last year's Stingray. And they did it with 13:1 compression ratio, which is the highest of any production Corvette ever built. Dual port and direct injection, new cylinder heads, and a 95mm throttle body. Oh, and it's assembled in Flint, Michigan, the historic birthplace of Chevy's small block V8s. The numbers on paper are insane. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, quarter mile in 11 seconds flat at 124 miles per hour. Those are numbers that would have sounded like a hypercar, like in supercar territory right now and hypercar territory not too long ago. Now, why does this car specifically do 200 and the Z06 doesn't? The part that surprises people the most is the Z06 makes 670 horsepower. The ZR1 makes 1,064. So why is the base Stingray the one doing 200 miles per hour? It's aerodynamics. That's why. At very high speeds, horsepower matters, but drag matters more. The faster you go, the harder the air fight you. By the time you're approaching 200 miles per hour, you're basically trying to like punch through an invincible wall that just gets thicker every second. Now, the Z06 is a wide body car. More aero components, more downforce, more drag, all that extra grip make them terrifying on a track, but a speed limiter on a straight line. Now, the base Stingray has the narrow body, less frontal area, less drag, and when you pair that with a slippery shape with 535 horsepower, you get the exact recipe to just barely crack 200. It's almost counterintuitive. The less car does the bigger number. Now, one important catch. If you add the Z51 package to your Stingray, extra aero, upgraded suspension, electronic LSD, you probably lose the 200 mile per hour top speed due to the added drag. So the cheapest 200 mile per hour Corvette is actually the cleanest base, like the absolute base spec Corvette, the highway runner, not the track weapon. How does this stack up? So who can actually compete with this anywhere near this price point? The honest answer is almost nobody new. Number one, the Cadillac CT5V Blackwing. That can hit around 205 miles per hour. But it costs significantly more because the MSRP ranges from 97,600 to 100,695. And it's a sedan, which is kind of impressive. But great car, different conversation. The Porsche 911 Turbo S. Over 200 miles per hour. But by the time you spec one out properly, you're looking at a price that could buy multiple Stingrays and still have money left for track days. It MSRP is around 270,300. That is crazy. Now the ZR1 is obviously faster. Hits 233 miles per hour, but also starts at nearly $250,000. In the used market, you've got options. The C6 Z06 is officially rated just under 200 miles per hour and can likely tip over with some tweaks. The Dodge Hellcat Red Eye, the Nissan GTR, but those are older cars. Not older as in like old in, but like they're not just new today. No factory warranty, ownership cost, and none of them come with an official factory-backed 200 mile per hour validation. That's the whole point. Walking into a dealership, writing a check, a $73,495 check, and driving away with a car that Chevy themselves have certified at 200 miles per hour. That didn't exist before now. Why does this actually matter? Let me put this in context because the number alone doesn't tell the whole story. In 2009, the Chevy ZR1, the big dog, the supercharged beast, made headlines for becoming the first production vehicle to crack 200 miles per hour. It had 638 horsepower supercharged, and it was around $100,000 at the time. This was 16 years ago. For all of those 16 years, 200 mile per hour stayed at the top of the Corvette lineup. It was a trophy reserved for the most expensive, most extreme version of the car. But today, Chevy has moved that trophy down to the base model. Now, the 2027 Corvette Stingray is not the fastest vet ever. It's not the most powerful, the widest, or the most track focused, but it might be the most important one in a very long time because it just took a number that belonged to exotics, six-figure cars, and attached it to a car you can finance at your local dealership. Tell me in the comments, are you choosing the base model Stingray and its 200 mile per hour capability, or would you rather shell out the extra cash for a Z06, a Blackwing, or an exotic from Europe? I'll read every comment, I promise. Now, like the video if you found it useful, it generally helps, and subscribe for more content like this.